Chubstep.
Jrad. Cacao.
Creating the oil of gold.
Steed.
Chubstep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the king of the jungle.
Don't you remember? We listened to his whole album that one night I told you you'd never be a good writer because you don't have a curious mind? Time. Ah, damn it.
Who was it?
Paul Buffano! Paul Buffano! How hard is that? Paul Buffano! Come on!
I'll bring the beers. I'll bring the beers.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
And the show started.
Welcome back, bitches.
God, that Steed's glasses have given him a whole new personality.
I don't know if you can't see, but I got the shirt open. Freaking no undershirt. Rolled up Australian style to show the pythons.
With sharks on it. Sharks on the shirt. Savage glasses that say savage.
I'm like the lion of the sea.
That's right.
I'm good at swimming.
Every week, baby. All
yeah.
Right. Steed. Let's start with you. I got some stuff lined up. I got a Chubistory. I've got
This is big.
Yeah.
I got a Steed Science.
Wow. We're
I got
classics.
I got more toe news. This is, I guess the Dalai Lama wasn't sucking toes, but we got some
tongues.
He was sucking tongues.
I think I actually would have more of a problem with people sucking tongues than sucking toes. I think
I do too. We'll get there though. We'll get there when it gets there.
We won't start with that. Okay. Steve, actually, since you were talking sharks at the beginning, I'm going to do a perfect segue to things that kill more people than sharks every year.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this yesterday.
I
don't know why. I think I have no idea why I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
I think I was listening to like a radio trivia thing.
Okay.
And I was in my head, I was like, I know that mosquitoes actually kill more people than mosquitoes, the deadliest animal.
Interesting. Yeah, mosquitoes is not on my list, but I have some other interesting things on this.
That's on my list.
This article is actually from PETA. Tough look.
Ugh.
So are they a little biased? I think so. But that doesn't mean that
PETA kills more people than sharks, probably.
That's accurate. Now, there is a crazy thing where people kill a ton of sharks. I watched a couple documentaries on this. I don't know why more than one, but I have seen more than one where like people kill. It's a big thing in China, especially like the shark fin soup is a big delicacy, but they'll just kill the sharks. But a lot of times, like you might get swordfish at the store and that might contain shark. And like that might be a shark, and the reason eating shark is bad is because they're kind of top of the food chain. So they eat a bunch of other crap and they have a lot of like high mercury content.
Whatever.
You don't want to be eating shark. It sounds cool. It does sound cool to eat shark.
You can eat like one or two a year.
Yeah, I mean, sure. It's probably one of the worst fish for you to eat just based on what it contains in it. But they said 100 million sharks worldwide. Sharks.
You went in. Shark in the water. Sharks in the water.
By one, I have two shows that are my trash TV shows that I watch, and one of them is Married at First Sight. And there was this guy on the show called Mock the Shack, and it was the Boston season, and he was Mock the Shack. So now I'm here, Shack. I'm talking like that. So here are things that kill more people than sharks. Accidental poisoning.
That's fair.
Something you shouldn't eat. I mean,
is this trying to get me to not kill a shark? Because so far it has not.
I don't know. I guess, to me, I guess their rationale is sharks don't kill that many people, so we don't need to kill sharks. I don't think people are killing sharks because they're worried they're going to attack their kids. I think they're killing them for other reasons.
If you're that scared of a shark, you're not going to go on a shark hunting mission. Like,
Exactly. They're basically assuming every shark that is killed is like the plot of Jaws, where they have to go kill the shark to stop it. from
that
killing
shark
somebody else.
did need to die. It tasted human blood. It had to go.
I agree it had to go, but I also would have liked it displayed somewhere, right? I'd like that in the Smithsonian.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Ripley's, exactly.
They've got
that's
the
better than
Jaws.
Smithsonian, yeah. So, okay, XL poisoning. An air or space accident.
Or
space.
they had to bring up the Challenger.
I know, too soon.
They had to bring up the Challenger mission. That's
like
messed up.
Just a random, space, junk falls on you from the sky.
I
That would be
don't
a
think
space
that's
accident.
ever happened.
Well,
Not yet. But I don't know why they brought that up. They're like, yeah, nice one, NASA. Sick job.
Yeah,
Should have
exactly.
sealed the
This
O-rings.
space thing is so,
Like, what the hell?
The amount of people that have access to this, to even have the opportunity.
It's
for a
the
space
number's
accident.
under 20. I'm sure Russia's killed quite a few people trying to
They
get
were
to
saying
space.
basically
But
in 2018, only 5 humans were killed of a shark attack. So a lot of this is 2018 data, but here we go.
that was a low year
Yeah.
because of COVID.
COVID was.
People knew it was
but-
coming.
That's a good point. Bike accident. That's not shocking at all. Bike
No.
accidents, a lot of people die, especially in the city, just people being so stupid.
Yeah.
Boating. Now, you will notice that does not include jet skis. Jet skis are very safe. Boats are dangerous.
They are. Now, does this include shark-related boating deaths?
Ooh, like a guy that avoids a shark, spins his boat around and
Mhm.
flips over and dies.
Yep.
Like
Somebody else is
avoiding
looking
it
at the
there.
shark, and then
Yeah.
he veers into the people.
Yes. Yeah,
So I think that one should be, off the list.
I agree. That's from Bell's list because it's biased towards sharks. Yeah, I agree. Cancer.
Man, low blow.
I agree. That's
Another
no
one.
shit. Yeah, no shit. dude. Heart attacks. Yeah, let me guess. Heart attack. Okay. A car accident.
I find that one hard to believe.
You think more?
I don't think the airbags and everything. I don't think the numbers are there. I just don't.
Car accidents. I mean, I know quite a few people that have died. in
You ever
car
seen it, though?
accidents. No. Have I ever seen a car accident?
Where somebody died?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because
'Cause how often am I hanging out where I know that's going on?
Jay, heroically, remember, I think like 5
Oh,
years
you
ago
saved,
now,
yes,
I
you
saved
saved,
2
yeah.
women from, they drove into a wall full of ice on an icy road,
Yeah.
flipped their car over. Guess what? They were walking around, and talking.
And did they thank you enough?
Oh, yeah. I think I got a hug from one.
Okay.
It was during a rough patch. It felt good.
Okay. Good. The length of the hug is important though. If it's a quick hug, then you're like, that's it.
No, I was in that. I was stuck in that
Okay.
car. I was
Okay.
playing the song "I Need a Hero"
Okay.
from Shrek, the Shrek soundtrack, and
Okay, perfect.
they looked up and saw me smiling.
Okay. So car accidents, you're not buying it. I still buy it. This one's an interesting one. More people die from a champagne cork every year.
Okay, come on, Peter.
So
Come on.
I looked up this. I looked up this. Every year, approximately 24 people die as a result of a champagne cork. Bleeding, aberrations, excessive swelling, and even glaucoma are all possibilities caused by corks. The gases surrounding the cork can travel up to 1.5 miles per hour in excess of twice as fast as sound.
That's actually
Now, this is from
1.5 miles an
I don't. Yeah.
Maybe they got that number wrong.
You know what? I kind of see everybody referencing the same article. Everybody's using this around 24 deaths per year. I'm seeing this on quite a few websites.
So PETA might have just
like
PETA didn't research this. They just saw it and said it.
very, very true. Yeah. So okay, there we go. That was an interesting one. So contracting an infection in a hospital. More people die from that than sharks.
How do you think
So-
doctors make money?
Yep, exactly. Dr. Daniel, he's in hot water. Speaking of, he was on our episode last time, and he's got some explaining to do.
Yep. Should ask him about that.
Drowning again. I think this one's biased like the boating one. Somebody might be just trying to swim away from a shark, they drown.
Or what? Yeah. What if a shark grabs them and pulls them under?
Yep, they
And then technically,
yeah.
the shark maybe was just trying to show him a cool shell at the bottom of the ocean.
More people die from eating. Now, does that mean choking, or does that?
I think that's how dumb PETA is.
Or overeating, and people are just fat.
Nah, that's how dumb PETA is. They're just like choking. I don't know the difference.
It should say eating meat is what this article should say.
Enjoying your life.
Yeah. Excessive cold. I mean, that's people freezing to death. I believe that.
Yeah, it gets cold out there. But again, it's pretty cold in the ocean where sharks live.
That's true. Falling. More people die from falling than sharks. Yeah. I mean,
I don't think they die from falling. They die from landing.
Valid point. More people die from fireworks every year.
Man, and some of those videos are golden.
Yeah, you know what? Fireworks are one of the most American things.
And they're just
so dangerous.
God, don't fucking hold it in your hand.
Remember the year that two professional sports athletes lost fingers during 4th of July? There's one year that two guys lost.
A hockey goalie died because NHL goalie died because a firework blasted towards a hot tub he was in.
Oh
my God. He jumped in front of it and
just don't
blew up in his chest.
Just don't stand in front of them. Just don't hold them.
They're bombs. They're bombs.
Yeah, they're bombs.
Why are they allowed? They should be illegal.
They definitely should be illegal. The flu, heart disease. I mean, these ones are, come on. Yeah,
can't prove it.
Hunting. Controversial here. Hunting accidents you do hear about all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you're walking around with a gun trying to shoot something, and you're shooting it from far away a lot of times. You're gonna miss sometimes, sure.
Yeah, and then maybe there's a road back there. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure that I was gonna hit the deer.
Yeah. People die from a ladder. More people die from using a ladder than sharks every year.
That would probably go into the same falling category.
I agree.
Lazy writing.
Lazy writing, I agree.
Man, I hate PETA.
Lawnmower. This one's interesting, Steve. A lawnmower. I looked this up.
Oh, that's a bad way to go.
Abnormal number of Americans are killed by lawnmowers each year. Nationally, about 69 people die due to lawnmower incidents, based on data from a 10-year period.
Now, I'm assuming this is mostly
90 Americans annually.
So you have a steep hill on your yard, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't go straight up, straight down. They try and do a nice little side. That thing could roll, and then you're toast.
Yeah. I do know somebody that has died. I believe he was cutting the grass, but it was on more of a tractor type of lawnmower. But yeah, the same sort of thing, flipped over to the side. I don't think it's people like what you would think about getting run over.
Yeah, no, it's out of control.
Yeah.
Stop the blades.
Exactly. It's not that sort of scenario, but you're 100% right, Steve.
I wonder if that's happened. That would be gross.
I'm sure somebody.
I had to go on the dark web.
Mad Men, where this girl is driving a riding lawnmower in the office and cuts up one guy's foot and just shreds his feet all over the office.
Oof.
That's always a classic scene in Mad Men.
Yeah, okay. I'm seeing somebody got murdered over a lawnmower dispute.
That would technically count. The lawnmower caused the death. I would count that as a lawnmower death.
This guy, he double PETA listed. He flipped his lawnmower into a pond and drowned.
Oh, double whammy. Yeah, that's not good.
Whammy.
That's not good. Lightning. More people die from lightning every year.
No shot.
Yeah, no, I thought
no shot.
Yeah,
what is come on, lightning hits tall stuff.
Yeah, tall people. That's why I'm at a bigger risk.
Here you got a duck.
MRSA.
I don't know what that is.
A rip current. So again, drowning. That's bullshit.
This is bullshit.
A stroke.
All right.
Here's a downer one. Suicide. You're more
Oh,
likely to die from suicide.
probably because PETA keeps asking you for money and keeps
Yeah.
shaming you for
For
eating
meat. Yeah.
delicious chicken thighs.
The opposite of the cold, the sun or heat exposure.
So make up your mind then. Is
Yep.
it the cold or is it the sun? I got
Everything
a
will
sick
kill you.
tan today because I was out in the sun.
A tornado. You're more likely to die in a train crash. You think I'm more likely to die in a train crash? I almost never take a train.
I think you're more likely to die. Is that how many are left on the list?
One
Then
more
I'll
after train
one
crash.
more. Okay, tell me that, then I'll tell you how you're gonna die.
Okay, this one's interesting, Steed. A sand hole collapse. Very specific. Very specific on this PETA list. It says digging that hole to China on a sandy beach is sometimes a kid's rite of passage. But a new, report
this is
reveals
another. This is
even
like a beach.
shallow ones can collapse and kill people.
That's weak. I love digging holes when I go to the beach. Like first thing I do, I dig myself a little hole. I make a little chair, little cup holder. I can relax. And then when you go like under the ground level, it's all quiet because there's no wind.
Yeah.
It's very soothing in there.
Yeah. So yeah, it is saying that there's been a decent amount of these people dig these sand things. Sometimes people just accidentally fall into other ones people build, and then it collapses on them. So it is. They say it's pretty dangerous. I agree with you, Steve. It is fun, but according to this, fairly dangerous.
I fill them in.
I like to leave a little like something kind of like maybe get some branches and stuff and put it over it, and then put a little bit of sand over that.
Well, I use a beach towel.
Yeah, beach, exactly.
Because it's
beach
always
towel
on
is the
hand.
perfect one. Beach towel. Yeah, leave that over, and then somebody falls in. Bingo, bango, bongo. They're trapped in there, and then I get to rescue them.
I like to put syringes in the bottom too.
Okay, yeah.
And then, they're labeled like heroin.
Yeah.
And
AIDS.
maybe AIDS. And then somebody's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. And then you come up and you say, "Just kidding."
It's a prank for YouTube.
Yeah. God, the stupid YouTube fake pranks. Okay, Steve, those are the things that can kill you more than the shark attack.
I don't agree with more than half of those.
Okay.
Because if I'm face to face with a tornado, like I was a few weeks ago, did I tell you about that? I don't know if we talked about it on the show.
No.
I didn't tell you about that?
No.
A tornado went half a block away from my apartment.
Really?
Pretty sure I was playing Xbox with you and Vaughn. It was one of the days where it was like super stormy.
Yeah.
And there was like supposed to be a big storm, and I looked out my window. I was like, "Man, it's windy out there." And then I went, and then I just sat back down. And then like a day later, my friend's like, "Dude, there was a tornado in Batavia," and I looked it up half a block away from my apartment.
Wow.
Yeah. So I can obviously survive a tornado. Cork comes at me, hits me right in the head. I'm surviving that. Car crash I've been in too, didn't die. Yet I've never come face to face with a shark.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the shark's going to kill me easier than most things.
Yeah, I think they're saying your chances of even being in that scenario are so low.
I don't know. I was swimming in Florida with a bag full of shrimp in my pocket a few months ago.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I realized it. Well, we were trying to handline fish.
Yeah.
And on a White Claw can. It's super chill. I have Savage sunglasses on. And I didn't want to have to keep going back to shore to get more bait.
Yeah.
And then I just had this bag of shrimp in my pocket, and I was like, "Oh God, this was pretty dumb."
Oh my God. Yeah. You don't even think about it. You're like, "Oh, this is just the worst thing I could be doing." Yeah. Other than like fish heads or something.
Yeah, other than just like cutting myself and chumming up the water.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Jay, I think what would take you out from this list would be the cork.
Yes, the amount of celebrating I'm doing.
You do a lot of celebrating. You have a lot of like get-togethers. I could see a situation where you've had a little too much to drink and somebody's like, "Hey, we can't get this cork open," and you're like, "I've done this 100 times," and you just start mashing it You just got to get it a little fizzed up first, and it just blows up right through your eye, and then everyone like claps at first because they're happy it went off, but then
But I'm stumbling around like for a long period of time.
yeah. And everyone's maybe they start doing like a little cheer, like whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
Then
Can you request to be put to death by like firing squad of corks? Like line me up like you would the old school firing squads, and everybody just launches champagne bottle corks at me. That's how I go out.
I don't see. It depends what you did, probably. Because if it's just like a standard murder, they're like,
good point.
No, you're just get in the chair. But if you like did some bad stuff, like you got like 100 kids together.
What if the crime the punishment has to do with like you kill somebody at a liquor store?
Oh,
so then they have to kill you in a way that involves liquor.
That would set a very interesting court precedent for future death penalties too.
Yes,
because they're like, this guy got the cork. I want the Louisville Slugger. And then the crowd in the courtroom's like, give him the bat.
Somebody at like a sporting goods store, so he gets killed by bats.
Yeah, get him, boys.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds fair.
I agree. You can request it, or you can just go old school, whatever, lethal injection. Or
I'd want to spice it up a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe get stoned.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. I do actually. Well, I'll let you get to something first, but I actually do have my Chubistry has to do with somebody that got in trouble with the law.
Oh no. Okay, well, Jay, before your Chubistry, should we do toes or steed science?
Do toes.
Maybe I'll save the steed science for next week.
Well, let's do toes. I want to talk toes.
I want to talk toes too. Toe talk, new segment, old segment.
Toe talk.
Yeah,
because we got to get some of the foot fetish guys to subscribe.
I know, and they might not like this one because it's kind of fucked up. Okay, Jay, are you familiar with the term shrimping?
Shrimping. That's not
shrimping.
That's not what you were doing, swimming in the water with the shrimp in your pocket.
That is called trying to get on a fucking idiot of the month video.
No, I'm not familiar with the term shrimping.
Okay, well, shrimping is the act of sucking on some toes.
Okay, hell no, because the toes look like shrimp.
Because the toes look like shrimp. I've never made that thing before. What do you call it? Comparison.
I know some of these words.
I've never in my head. I've never been like, these shrimp look like human toes.
Yeah.
I don't have socks on right now, so I'm gonna look at them. Still not seeing it. But it's called shrimping.
I mean, it's a stretch. It's a stretch, but okay.
So, basically, the news that came out last week, a hotel manager was fixing to do a little shrimping. And so he thought that he would clone some guy's key. This is in Nashville.
Okay.
At a Hilton, too. A nice establishment.
Yeah.
So he's like, man, I got to do some shrimping, baby. Shrimping.
Yeah.
And so he cloned a guy's key. It doesn't say how old this guy is, but he's a Air Force veteran traveling. So I assume he's old. You know, it's not some boy like the Dalai Lama.
But but you said he is the owner of the Hilton?
He's a manager. He's not the owner. Yeah, he's a manager.
He's not Conrad Hilton Jr.
Yes. So he's like up all night. He's like, man, I gotta suck some toes, man.
Yeah.
I gotta suck some toes. So he just goes into this guy's room, 5 a.m, and the guy wakes up.
No.
To his toes getting sucked.
Oh no.
And it's
some random guy. He had the key room. He just starts sucking the guy's toes.
Oh, not just a random guy. Let me show you. How do I sharing screen? All right. Enable me.
Yeah, give me a second. There you go.
Click. This guy started sucking your toes.
Oh. People, if you check this out on YouTube, Chubstep podcast, Chubstep podcast on YouTube. Oh god.
Oh, that is a no bueno. That's a big no thank you for me. If it's like last week, Dan, I wake up and he's sucking my toes, Dr. Dan.
Yeah, Dr. Daniel.
I'm gonna pretend to be asleep a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna let him see what's going on, make sure I don't have like some type of foot
maybe
injury.
Something, right?
Yeah, he could have noticed like me limping earlier in the day. I'll see where that one goes. This guy, Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So the guy freaked out, and it said he's like, what's going on? What's going on? And the guy's like, I smelled smoke, and I wanted to make sure you were okay.
Instead of pulling the fire alarm,
Yeah. Why are you specifically in my room?
Why are you sucking on my toes?
Yeah, get those out of there. So he he didn't like it, and he said he like told the hotel security, and they just basically were like, whatever. So
because that's their boss.
Yeah. And now he's, obviously suing. That guy got arrested. He did get arrested because he called the police.
Yeah.
And beep bop boop. He's suing everybody.
Okay.
Big time. Yeah. And he's probably gonna get a fucking shitload of money because that's bad.
Oh, yeah, that's not good at all.
And he said Hilton refused to give him like the security footage and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh dude.
That's rough. Yeah. So I'm curious why he picked this specific guy, right, to start sucking toes on.
I don't know. Why would you ever think? Maybe he thought like he was into it. Maybe when he checked in,
the guy
he
was
gave
wearing,
him
like open-toed sandals or something. He's like, into toe stuff.
And the guy maybe the manager like compliments him. He's like, oh, those are nice shoes. And then he's like,
so that's an innuendo for
He went back and he was like, oh, maybe you could try him out later. And then he had something in his eye, so he accidentally winked. Yes. And then the manager was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to suck this guy's toes.
That the guy had no idea he was,
Yeah, that is actually the defense I would use in court if I was caught with that.
Yes.
If I was caught sucking the toes.
Everybody in the shrimping community knows that if you wink left eye and then right eye, that means it's on.
Left eye, right eye.
And he did that. If you check the security footage, he did that.
That means I am taking a long bath, using the loofah on my feet, getting all that dry skin off. They're going to be ready to go. Lavender oil all over those things.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, I'm sure like any other body part that people are into, different foot fetish people have different things that they're into. Like some people might like a longer toe. Some people might like shorter toes. Some people might like very soft feet. Some people might like a worker's, like, a foot that's seen some stuff, like it goes barefoot a lot. Some people probably like them clean. Some people like them dirty.
I would love to see this arraignment and see if the shoes he was wearing are mentioned.
Maybe he was wearing, here's a good one. See, he was probably wearing those little like American Ninja Warrior toe shoes.
Oh, don't get me started on toe shoes.
The toe shoes, and that's like an instant, like that's only big in the toe community, the shrimping community.
Oh, it's so weird.
I would like to see if that's what this guy was wearing. I mean, those they're not super in style at this point. Not that they ever were, but
no, yeah, they got hit pretty hard with ridicule, and the companies went under pretty quick.
Yeah, I think it's still, I've heard I think people, the only time they wear them is for like to be on American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, or maybe like rock climbing, I guess.
Yeah.
It would probably help, and maybe, I don't know, I'm not a rock climber.
Yeah.
Those guys usually seem to be wearing normal shoes, though.
Yeah, it does seem like, or special shoes for rock climbing that have grippies all over the place.
Yeah.
Anyway, would I be upset by this? I would be. Again, I think you're right, Steve. If it was like somebody that's more attractive doing this, I don't have as big a problem with it. Be like, dude, knock it off, right? But if it's or male or female, but like this guy, I'm gonna be creeped out. If this guy's in my room at all, let alone sucking on my toes, that's gonna be.
I would like if that actually happened. That guy's not walking out of that room. I'd probably murder him. You don't touch my toes without my consent.
It's an easy way. You're sucking on somebody's foot. The other foot is open for a full kick.
A big kick. Yeah, I can't believe this guy was just like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah, I would. My instant reaction, I feel like if somebody's touching my toes, my foot would just automatically kick over. That's my defense mechanism.
And then my foot would just keep kicking over and over. It would be like that. I'd be smashing grapes, trying to stomp grapes in there. You want these toes? You got them, old man.
Yeah. All right. I like it, Steve. I like it. Okay.
That's toe news.
That's toe news. Toe topics.
Toe touch.
Okay. Here we go. This is Chubistory.
Blood alone moves the wheels of history. Have you ever asked yourselves in an hour of meditation, which everyone finds during the day, how long we have been striving for greatness?
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
America is the richest, most powerful nation on earth. If America was a woman, America would be a big titty woman. And everybody loves a big titty woman.
In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chubstory.
Please clap.
Steed, this came up. I've got 2 Chubistories based on my England trip, things that come up, and I'm like, this would be a fun story to talk about. So this one...
All of England's history, you mean?
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's what sucks about England history is that everybody's named like Charles. So you try to figure out... And George, yeah. So like
Henry.
You try to figure out... There's like Charles the Fifth. Like there's all these different versions of the same name. So you were trying to figure out like who's who, and they don't even line up. It's not like the third came after the second, because there might be a couple different names in between. It's impossible. Like Henry, there's a bunch of Henrys, there's a bunch of Charles. Like it is so confusing to actually, for somebody who is slightly dove into English history, it's just so confusing because of first of all, they've been around forever, and then secondly, just the same name over and over again.
Yeah.
Right.
It's easier than like ancient Egyptian when they're like
at least the names are yeah, exactly.
You're like, oh, cool, chill.
With the names you can't even pronounce. Exactly. that makes it more difficult. But here we go. This is 1751. I found out about the story because we toured the place where this lady was imprisoned. We're talking 1751. We're about Mary Blandy.
Oh, Mary Blandy.
Kind of a mixture between brandy and bland.
She's fun when she wants to be.
Exactly. She's fun when she wants to be, but when she drinks, she's boring.
Oh.
She's not one of those party drunk girls.
Okay.
So 1751. Francis Blandy. He falls into a coma and dies.
Oof.
So later that night, Mary Blandy, his daughter, offers one of the family servants a ton of money to get her out of England and into France.
Suspicious.
Very suspicious. The same night that her dad dies, she's like, hey, servants, get me out of here. They refuse. So she had to leave on her own. But everybody was like, hey, why is she leaving in the middle of the night? This is suspicious. The neighbors stop her. Once they hear that Francis Blandy, her dad, might have been poisoned.
No.
So they had been suspicious of Mary since she was 26 years old. She was unmarried, which is, what is she thinking?
She's an old hag.
Yeah.
And
at the time, it was actually kind of an old age to not be married, but they're getting married at like 15. So
yeah,
you know, what are you gonna do? So anyway,
simpler times.
But she was having an affair with a guy named William Cranston. And William
From
Cranston,
Breaking Bad.
From Breaking Bad, yeah. It spelled a little different, and it's not the same as Bryan Cranston, but yeah. So but William Cranston was married to a lady back in Scotland, but he was dating basically Mary Blandy, even though he was married to a lady in Scotland, living in England, but dating this other girl.
He's got a mistress.
He's got a mistress.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, in the town he's living in. Who doesn't? So people were assuming that Cranston wanted a piece of the Blandy fortune because her dad was rich. So Francis Blandy, he was all for it initially. He was all for this relationship. He's like, hey, my daughter, she's not married.
Get her out of my house.
This William Cranston guy, he's a good guy. But they weren't married. So because they weren't married, the dad was like, well, you got to actually marry my daughter. So you have to divorce your ex-wife. And apparently he just kept like delaying it and saying it wasn't happening, all this kind of stuff. It sounded like the dad kept thinking this guy was making excuses not to get divorced. So originally William and Mary were actually living in the Francis Blandy's house. They're actually living in her dad's house together. This guy who was married, she was basically having this affair in her dad's house.
How do you get away with that?
But the dad was fine with it because he thought he was going to get divorced. They thought they were going to live happily ever after, but he's not getting divorced. And so what Mary ends up doing is apparently she started giving her dad what she thought was a love potion. So here's the story here. She was, according to her accounts, she said that William, her lover, gave her these powder to put in her father's food. That was a love potion that would make him fall in love with their love. Like basically he would love their relationship.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And get over it. Now, that's what Mary claimed. Now, what was the small substance that she was putting in her father's food? Arsenic.
I was going to say arsenic. Yeah.
Yes. A classic. So she put small amounts of arsenic in her father's food for months. And so he became to get their.
That's a long time.
Yes, he started to get like nausea, stomach pain, and the servants found like white powder at the bottom of a pan that she was using to feed her father. So when he finally died, one of the cooks saw Mary try to get rid of the white powder, and he saved some of the white powder that was before it was like completely thrown away. And she ended up getting charged with murder. And face a trial in Oxford, and that's where I saw her place where she was stored for jail.
She was stored
for jail. That's what I call it. Stored, human storage is also known as jail. And so basically, doctors were like, "Yeah, hey, this white substance is arsenic," but like really, they couldn't tell. There was no scientific testing for arsenic, so they heated it up. And they smelled the vapors, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, that's arsenic."
What the fuck?
So apparently, 40 years later, they were able to actually come up with an actual chemistry way of testing for arsenic.
Or it was just,
yeah. They lit it up. They lit up a poisonous substance, made it into a vapor, and was like, "Yeah."
It just smelled it. Yeah, no, I don't feel so good.
Yeah. So. Anyway, so the court was not buying this. They're like, you were poisoning your dad. I don't care if you thought it was a love potion that was going to make him like your relationship. So she ends up getting hung.
Oh,
yes. And she said, do not hang me too high for the sake of decency. She wanted to be hung low.
So you can't see up her dress. Yep, I get it. I get it. Hey, 1750. I might be down there. Little boy, me. I might be peeking up under the rafters.
Okay. That's a fair point. There's probably some pervs out there. So, Chris just escaped to France. He got away with it. If he even had anything to do with it, we don't even know if he was giving her the actual substance. She might have just been wanting to kill her dad.
I think he was in on it. I think he was in on it.
He wanted to get the family money. So that is Mary Blandy. Love potion, not a real thing.
Wow.
Arsenic is.
That's a good defense.
Yeah. I like the spin zone.
If I'm her, I'm blaming it all on that dude. You got to keep your cool if you poison somebody. And also, like, the months, that's too long. Like, I'm not poisoning somebody for months.
The thing is, you don't want to be. I agree, Steve. It's like you're even thinking about that so much. That's how you know it was not just like an accidental, like, oh shit, like, you have to consciously be doing that every day for months. And that's just crazy to me. Like,
also, it's freaking 1750. If you want to kill somebody, just murder them and walk away.
There's no DNA testing.
There's no anything testing. They can't even test the freaking poison. Except for licking it. You just stab somebody, push them in a well. You literally do whatever you want.
I completely agree. So I was listening to something else that was talking about, like, how low the murder rate, murders would happen, like, like they do now. But, like, obviously, like you're saying, they didn't know any forensic stuff. But they always thought the reason religion played a huge role in a lot of these executions and stuff is they kind of thought that basically their God was going to reveal if they did it or not. So
my God.
So a lot of times they confess to something, if they did it, they confessed to something because they were like, oh, God's going to find out, he's going to,
he's going to be pissed
when they do the trial. The priests are going to say that God found out what happened. So, like, they would just confess to stuff that, like, there's no way there ever would have been evidence to find out. Because they're like,
big man upstairs got me. So
yeah, I mean, that was a huge thing that happened. A lot of people just ended up confessing because they were just like,
man, you could do a lot back then if you were like an atheist.
Exactly.
You could run the world.
Oh yeah.
It'd be so easy. You just lie.
And you don't need arsenic. So I agree, bad choice. And she was, did not seem like an expert, leaving powders all over the place. Like, whip it up into his drink. Like, put it in the water.
Just do it. Do it at once. Yeah, just make him coffee with arsenic. Oh, he died. Oh, weird. Crazy.
You're gonna make some errors.
Can't do an autopsy because he's dead.
Exactly. All right,
oh, good Chubistory.
Any other things you want to get to here? Or should we
I got a Steed science, but I'll just save it.
Let's save that for next week. I want to give it its full attention, its full.
Yeah, it's not crazy long, but I can add another portion of it. Teaser.
Yeah.
It involves a popular tire company.
Ooh.
Who's been doing some not so nice things.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we'll give you that story and more
in next week's Chubstep. Email the show chubstep.podcast@gmail.com. We like your emails, read off the emails, whatever they say. For the most part,
some we can't read.
There was like one or two that I've had that we just couldn't read. But for the most part, it has to be pretty crazy. Yeah, Paul might have sent them.
I actually have never emailed. No, I might have like years ago. Okay. But
chubstep.podcast@gmail.com is the email. And rate the show on Spotify. We've had some controversial Spotify ratings recently. We need to counteract those.
We get a lot of controversial stuff, but we didn't talk about this, but we did get a rebuttal from the most controversial rating that we've ever received.
Another rebuttal.
No. We got a rebuttal from somebody who made a fake account.
Oh no!
And rated us 5 stars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was revenge, Chubstep fan revenge out there.
I like this. Okay, so yeah, Chubstep fans, Chubaholics, go ahead and grab somebody's phone who has Spotify and rate us 5 stars on Spotify. All right, new episodes every Thursday. The show is ended. Be gone.
Now you know you got to go.
Peace. This is Yasin.